Yo, what is up guys, Ghost here, welcome back to Stormgate Central. So I wasn't planning to put out a second video today, I wasn't really expecting there to be any significant news on the game, but Frostgiant have surprisingly just dropped a bit of a first look at one of their upgraded maps that is going to be available in early access, and this is the new map called Lost Hope. This is the only 4-player map in the game, as far as I know. We're going to go and take a look at what they presented here, because whilst it was a fairly short video of around 1 minute in length, there were quite a number of new reveals here, including some never before seen brand new Celestial units. Guys, as always, if you enjoy the content here on the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Lots more content to come on Stormgate here as we approach early access. I will be putting out a new cast pretty much every day to ramp up here to early access, and then of course once early access hits, we're going to be doing plenty of build orders, guides, more casts, and of course I will be keeping you guys up to date on all the news. So if you guys enjoy that sort of stuff, hit that subscribe button, and as always, thank you guys so much for your support. So straight away here in this little before and after, you can see that they've completely changed the biome of the map. So what they did is they used the grassy, foresty biome for all of the maps in the game, just so that they could get the design of the map in place. Once that was done, they've now decided to actually change some of them totally and take them in a different direction. So here we can see, of course, we're on this sort of rocky, sandy, desolate terrain. We've got a bunch of these makeshift shacks made out of corrugated iron and that sort of thing, very sort of run down looking. And then towards the south there, you can see what looks like a health creep camp, and it's surrounded by 5 brand new creeps. And then off to the right, you can see one of the critters in the game that we've definitely seen artwork of before. It's like a little pygmy hamster mouse thingy. I forget what it's called. I think it has a name, so if anybody can remember it, leave it in the comments below. Here once again we see another look at a creep camp. These seem to be some sort of shadow stalker type aliens of some variety, clearly something that inhabits this world. Now this particular little shot here caught my eye, because for those of you who played as the Celestials or saw the Celestials, and maybe you've been watching some of my casted games, you'll know that this circular round building here is called a force projector, and it was one of the ground upgrade buildings. Now it did have a defensive capability as well. It could sort of slow targets, but it's kind of weird because at the moment we're seeing 4 of these. Now typically you would only want to build 1 of each research building, right? So that begs the question, why is there 4 of them here? Does that possibly mean that this building has been completely repurposed and it is maybe no longer a research building, but a unit producing structure? That is the only plausible explanation to me. And then off to the center, sort of left of the screen there, we also see a brand new building. So that is possibly one of the new research buildings that has taken over the role of like the old force projector. Total speculation there, conjecture on my part, but that's what makes sense in my mind, so let me know what you guys think about that. And here we get a brand new look at the Exo's new model. I really like this as well. They've got these kind of power packs on their back there, which is presumably like the battery that's connected to their rifles, which seems to be some sort of a railgun that they use. I think they really look the part. It kind of gives me almost like power armor vibes. They're not quite as big and beefy as a Marine or a Space Marine, but they also don't look as weak and flimsy as they did in previous tests. I think that the Celestials, the units that they have, they definitely look better. Like, they seem to be sort of more shiny. They've got this golden accent on them. You can see it on the buildings here as well, and in fact if you look closely at the Bastion, it's sort of like almost fading out of existence. So I think this is a new effect on the Bastion, or probably on all of the Celestial buildings, where if they take damage, they sort of start to lose almost their place in reality until you finally take them out and they explode. And here is the big reveal, really. 2 new flying units for Celestials that weren't part of the playtest in Frigga. Now, we have seen these units before. If you go and look at the 3rd faction reveal video, of course, they're front and center. We can see the larger winged angel type unit that's holding some sort of a sword crossed with a hammer. He's got those really big wings, so that's obviously that particular unit. And then off to the left, and there's also one on the right, you can see these, actually there's 2 on the right there, you can see these 2 other units that have these sort of triple spread wings on either side of them, and those are the 4 units that are further back on the right. They seem to be obviously air units that can fire down at the ground, no knowing if they can hit air yet, But the guys with the angel wings, they're actually just plummeting down towards the earth and appear to be doing this in a majestic fashion, leaving a massive explosion and likely doing a lot of area damage. And then once they get down on the ground, they switch from being like an air unit to being a ground unit, proceeding to smite their foes down with celestial hammers. And then right here, if you watch carefully, you'll notice that they actually grow in size. So I'd say they almost double in size here, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe like when they get low on health, they get bigger and more tankier, or maybe it's an ability. Not exactly sure what's going on with that, but very interested to see what these units are like. I'm not sure if these are tier 3 units. I think it's pretty likely that they are tier 3 units, since we've already seen, of course, the Graven for the Vanguard, and well, they seem to be surviving for quite a long time here, so they do appear to be pretty tanky. But overall here, what I'm also noticing is that the lighting, the shadows, the artwork, everything has seen a pass. It's kind of hard to dial it down and say exactly what has changed, but I know that the game I'm looking at here looks a whole lot better than it did in Frigate and in previous playtests. So I think for a lot of people who didn't like the art style, and there's something about it, it just, like, the units just kind of look like they're popping out of the screen at me. They look a little bit more rounder, a little bit more glossy and sharp. Honestly, I think it's a massive improvement. So let me know, guys, what do you think about all that down in the comments? I know it went by pretty quickly because it was only a 1-minute video. I'll leave a link to the video as well down below if you guys want to go and watch it for yourselves. Don't forget, I will be uploading a game almost every day here on the channel leading up to early access, and then on the 30th, Stormgate will open up, and if you are a founder or if you've purchased one of the early access packs on Steam, you'll be able to get in 2 weeks early. Otherwise, if you don't want to do that, totally understandable, you can play for free on the 13th of August. However you choose to play, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to hopping in game. Hopefully I'm going to meet some of you guys in there and we're going to have a blast together. As always, thank you guys for watching the video and checking out my channel. Have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.